Knowing the situation with the weight class not qualified yet, did that, I don't know, change your mindset or the emotions or anything, make this different?
Not really. More so because it's do or die. You know, I mean, trials time comes every year. If you win trials, you go on. If not, you can't. So whether now it's going to a wrestle off or try to qualify the weight, whatever happens, now I have the opportunity to do that. You know, if I wouldn't have won, season's over. So it's kind of the same thing as usual.
How do you approach these next few weeks, waiting to see if the class gets qualified and then knowing you've got another step in the process if it does?
Just training hard, really. I mean, I'm probably not going to take much time off, day or two, just kind of let the bumps and bruises heal a little bit, and then go right back at it, start doing a little, strength and conditioning training, off the mat stuff, just kind of stay in shape, and then get right back on the mat as soon as I'm physically ready again.
Do you know when the tournament would be?
Justin tries to qualify the weight next weekend, I believe.
I mean, when you guys would wrestle?
The wrestle off?
Yeah.
That, I don't know.
Okay.
That's kind of on the other side of the house.
Is that the only, is there one after that for Justin if he doesn't do it? Or is that
There's
the last
two left.
There's
I'm
two?
not sure
Okay.
what they're doing, how they're going to sort that out, but I know there's two qualifiers left. There's China next weekend, and then Finland, I believe, is the weekend after that.
Okay. What's your history against him? Have you beaten him before?
No. I mean, we've had a lot of close matches. Sometimes it comes down to a call,
Okay.
as wrestling does, but definitely there's not much of a gap. I don't feel. I mean, I feel I have the edge, so.
RC, in 2008, you were third in the trials. Why have you picked up your game so much in the last 4 years? What's the difference?
I think it's really just kind of determination. I mean, I remember trials last year. Losing to Adam basically over a coin flip, and that was a tough loss, a very tough loss. I mean, me and Adam, we've been great friends for years, just like Pete and I now. We've been great friends for years. It's always hard to lose to a friend, especially when you're right there. And then just knowing, coming back in 2009, winning. And going to World, doing those tournaments, stuff like that, just knowing I'm right there with the rest of the guys in the world, there's, it's just, it kind of gives that little extra determination, going to those tournaments, beating those guys who are in the finals of the World Championships and things like that, just a little extra edge.
Is it odd that in 2008, the U.S. had a gold medalist or a medalist at this weight, and now doesn't even qualified yet?
No, I mean, that's wrestling. Anything can happen in wrestling any given day. I mean, it's just kind of the way the chips fall, there's not really much you can do about it, just kind of the way it is, and we got to do our best to get the weight qualified so we can send a full team of 7 and, try to win I don't know if it's official at the Olympics, but team title, possible.
Is it nerve-wracking for you, waiting to see if the spot gets qualified?
I mean, no more nerve-wracking than waiting through a tournament all day. It's kind of one of those things where, these are the rules that have been set forth, and so you just kind of do what you can to do the best you can to get through it and, train hard when the time comes and I get ready to step up, try to be there.
Do you think it helps you, does it give you an advantage facing him with, a month to prepare as opposed to, or however long it is, as opposed to, here where you might have had, 2 hours to prepare for him? Does that help you?
Definitely. I mean, I think knowing who your opponent is for sure, there's always an advantage in that, I mean, in a tournament like this, the field, well, this guy, but he can wrestle this guy, and that guy can wrestle that guy. But when you're basically in a wrestle-off, it's kind of, this is the person you're wrestling. So you can train specifically to wrestle that person instead of trying to wrestle the field.
Do you feel like you can beat him, or do you feel like you should beat him? How do you kind of view that?
Yes, I mean, if I didn't think I could beat him, I wouldn't even try. You know what I mean? I mean, this is wrestling. I think I'm going to, get up there, wrestle my best. I think I'm going to be the last man standing and head off to London.
Let's do 2 more questions, guys.
How much have you grown as a wrestler over these past 4 years, and what are the parts of your game that you stepped up the most?
I mean, I think I've grown tremendously in the last 4 years, especially with my defense and just my mat awareness is what I've been trying to work on more than anything, and just kind of knowing where I am in a match. Sometimes you kind of get forgetful as a wrestler, in the heat of the moment. Just trying to stay calm and disciplined. I've been working a lot with my coaches from Arizona and things like that to try to really focus on just staying mentally sharp in the match and not trying to do too many crazy things. And just wrestle solid, wrestle tough, elbows in, head up. My coach in Colorado are always yelling at me, head up, head up, head up. So I'm trying to focus on that.
Instead, you're working on your PhD?
Yeah, working on my PhD in computer science at UCCS, University of Colorado, Colorado Springs, under Terry Bolt.
A lot of these guys that are training and wrestling in this tournament, that's all they do.
Mm-hmm.
and full-time job, but you got this, which is probably another full-time job. How do you juggle the two?
You know, I think it's the best way to keep me out of trouble, to tell you the truth. I mean, you know, wandering mind is a terrible thing, as they say, so I try to always stay busy, always stay focused. I mean, it's just one of those things where if I didn't do that, I'd probably be getting in trouble somewhere. So I just, you know, go from practice to doing my research work, back to practice, more research work, you know, work on the side, just stay focused. You know, I think it's the same thing across the board, whether wrestling, whether working on my schoolwork. It's all about focus and discipline, you know, just getting it done, you know, one step at a time.
Awesome.